Courtesy of NBC Sports Network. Matt Kenseth, driver of the number $20 General Toyota, wins again at Michigan International Speedway. I love that reaction there, Matt. It's just like you've been waiting to do that, and you get that chance to yell for about 10 seconds. Congrats on the win.
Thank you. It's it's always fun to win, and you don't get dominant cars like that very often. And it seems like when you do, it's even less often that everything actually goes right, and you get to win with it. So we kind of had a perfect weekend from qualifying to the race, so it felt good that it all came together for sure.
We were talking about participation trophies. You have kids. What do you think of participation trophies?
Well, that's a tough one. I mean, I think that every generation is a little bit different, and things go a little bit different. I mean, I think that you want to raise your kids to do good and try to be the best at everything they do. So, I mean, I guess I can understand both sides of it. When they're little, you want to, you don't want to have the sad kid that didn't get a trophy, but yet on the other hand, you want to teach them to work hard at whatever they're doing and try to be the best at whatever they're doing, and get the rewards for that when you do the job better than everybody else.
But do they get participation trophies?
My little kids are pretty little, and there's a couple of little events they have done that have got participation trophies. And I got to be honest, I'm not crazy about participation trophies.
Yeah, I'm not either. But it seems to be this whole new wave of building self-esteem, and my kids are a little bit older, so they still want sort of that recognition after they do something. Like, job well done, you just took the garbage out. I mean, take out the garbage. You don't get a participation trophy for taking out the garbage.
Yeah, that's right. I totally agree with you. I know where you're coming from on that one.
How did you celebrate the win?
Oh, man. So Katie was there. My three little girls were there, which was fun. So they got to go to Victory Lane, and we were at the racetrack a really long time. So I got this radio station in my car that when I take my girls to school, we always listen to, and it's called Kids Classic Hits. And you have all these other songs come on, and it's like old pop stuff, but it's kind of for kids. So they like Kool and the Gang Celebration, believe it or not. And Caitlin's like, if you ever win a race, Dad, we're listening to Celebration on the way home. So we all got in the rental car, and I found Celebration on my phone, and we were all singing to that on the way to the airport. So that was our celebration.
Wait, you're all singing?
Yeah, it was pretty funny. They usually got me trying to sing Taylor Swift now, which is slightly embarrassing for me since I've always liked metal. So Kool and the Gang Celebration was actually kind of better than that.
If you had your druthers, what kind of metal are you listening to?
Metallica's always been my all-time favorite band. I like a little bit of everything. I don't get to listen to, my genre of music as much as I used to listen to it. Because, like I said, I'm usually listening to kids' music, or lately my 4- and 6-year-old have been extremely addicted to Taylor Swift music. So I have that in my head way more than I wish I would. But that's better than having Yo Gabba Gabba and Elmo in your head.
But I'm always interested when the windows are up and you're singing with your daughters, and then people drive by and then they recognize that it's you.
Yeah, I've often thought of that.
But I just sing even louder. I figure, You know what? You already busted me. You might as well. I'm singing with my daughters. Did one of your daughters lose a tooth this weekend?
Yeah, Caitlin did. So she's that front tooth has been hanging on forever, and she's actually wanted to lose teeth because a friend of hers is a little bit older, and she's missing all her front teeth, and she thinks that's the coolest thing. And I'm like, man, that's great, but it takes a while to grow back, and so she's wiggling and yanking on it, and it finally got there where it was hanging by that last little string, and she didn't trust her mom to pull it out. She just wanted me to mess with it, and finally Katie grabbed a paper towel and said, "Come here, man." Caitlin and grabbed it and yanked it out and handed it to her. So she lost her tooth yesterday morning, and the tooth fairy knew that we got home last night and came and dropped her off $5, so she was pretty happy.
I like that. That. But, since you won, shouldn't the tooth fairy have paid your daughter a little bit more for that tooth?
Well, I've never met the tooth fairy, so I don't know that she's a race fan or not.
$5. Well, no, see, we're back to participation trophies that you lost a tooth, and I got to give you more than $5. See, it all comes back to that, Matt. All comes back to that. Do you ever talk football with Joe Gibbs? How often do you talk football with Joe Gibbs?
Probably not as often this year as maybe the last couple of years in getting to know him. But, Coach just has a lot of football stories. And a lot of them, I've only been there almost going on 3 years here, and I've heard a lot of them more than once. And he actually has some really good ones. He loves telling his rigging stories. But we talk about football once in a while. I think I told you last time on the call when we were talking about the Packers in Seattle. He actually called me at halftime and was all excited for me because he knew the Packers were going to win and then they lost. So that was the last time that we've talked about the Packers actually since then.
Oh, and I'll bet those rigging stories were great because John was crazy.
Yeah, he has some good ones. He told me he went to him and tried to get him to come back and play for him. It was like 9 in the morning, and he came to the door with a beer in his hand and offered Coach one. He's like, "It's 9 in the morning." So yeah, he has a few good ones about that.
Hey, congrats for the win. That's 2 in the last 3 weeks. Always great to have you on, Matt.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Since I got to be on another day, since the second half of the season we get to talk to you, I thought I'd better keep standing in the gas so I get to call you more often.
I love it. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Matt Kenseth, the driver of the number $20 General Toyota.